Hey guys! So I know it's been a minute since we've done a photo card storing video, but we are finally back. Truth be told, I don't have a super lot for today. Photo card collecting activities are gonna be kind of slow for me, probably until like end of July, start of August-ish. But we are still trucking along, picking up cards here and there. And enhypen just had a new comeback, so I have some stuff for them today. NCT Dream just announced their new comeback, so once the album details come out for that, I am planning on making like a binder setup video for that. So like I said, for today I have not that much. It's gonna be kind of a lot of hopping around in between a lot of binders. Just putting a couple things away here and there. We will be dusting off a lot of binders today. There's a lot of collections that we'll be going into that I have not touched in months. I will also be debuting a new binder as well as expanding one of my collections, which you will see when we get there. I am so excited to do this. I just felt like I needed a bigger collection that I could passively work on over time as I have downtime in between comebacks. That's kind of like where I found myself over these past couple months-ish. All the groups that I collect, they all had their comebacks at the same time. So then as I started finishing up those albums, there was just a big period of like, okay, well now what? There's nothing really much for me to look for. So hopefully this expansion will help with that issue. But yeah, I think that's enough talking. I say we get right into the first binder. Okay, as usual, let's start with Jisung. I have very little for him today, shocker. But my last video was super Jisung heavy. It's kind of crazy that we're getting another Dream comeback because while I am very ready for another Dream album, I feel like I'm not done collecting Dreamscape yet. Like there's still a lot of benefits I wanted to grab and other merch items from this era that I wanted to grab. So as this new comeback starts, I will still probably be back collecting into Dreamscape as well. So to start, I have this with Mew Pob. And I'm going to just put it here. I think it's time to say goodbye to this dupe Jisung. It was fun having two of the same card, but I'm not really much of a dupe collector, so that's gonna go there. This will definitely go onto my account for either sale or trade. So we're saying goodbye to this dupe card. And then finally, I found someone selling his full Season's Greetings set, so we're gonna put that away as well. So we're going right to the back. I have not purchased a Season's Greetings of theirs yet, or any of Jisung's cards from the previous years. So I'm gonna start a new section of the merch section of my binder. I just said section way too many times. But anyway, yeah, so we're gonna begin here. And I guess that's maybe how we'll lay it out. Here's the first one. Here's the selfie one. I want maybe to try to get a selfie card of him in the other concept from the Season's Greetings. The one where there's like the red background. Just to put in this remaining spot, and we'll do like a full page of the 2024 Season's Greetings, and then this year we'll do another page of 2025 and so on and so forth. Oh, also, just so you can see, I did get my Meow Cafe order in with more of the slim inclusion pages, so I was finally able to store some of the merch postcards, and I am obsessed with this. Like, how cute is he? Technically, this is Dream Escape, so technically this should be in my other binder, but I mean, it is a merch item, and I figured it would probably just fit better in here anyways. So that's that. All right, so really quick Jisung story. Let's continue with the NCT trend, and let's go into my Sion binder. Okay, and if you missed my last video, Here is my new Sion binder. I wanted to try out my hand at sticker deco. I've never really like seriously tried it. Like I've done like mini decos with stickers I've gotten in freebies, but yeah, so this is my first attempt at an official photocard binder deco. I am actually really obsessed with this. I love it so much. When I discovered vinyl sticker paper that you could just use your printer from home, that changed my life. Like being able to just print out any photo that I want and make it a sticker. You'll definitely be seeing more sticker decos like this in the future on my channel. It was a lot of fun doing this. Okay, so another couple things changed. I also switched him into the double-sided soft glow pages, as well as started using the black frame sleeves, and I'm really liking these actually. I think they make the photo card stand out really boldly, if that makes sense. It also matches like the deco theme of the binder, so yeah. Okay, so here is the card I have for today. It's a really exciting one. I am so happy to have this. So I did buy the woooooo from Pop, and I pulled Yushi. So I have a story. It's not a crazy story, but it's still a story. I may or may not have another one of these cards on the way to me. And the reason being, like I said, I pulled Yushi and I put him up for a trade on my Instagram account. But to be totally honest, I didn't even think I was going to actually find a trade. It was kind of just like a shout into the darkness. So one day I came across an account selling Sion's woooooo cards, and it actually wasn't overpriced a ton like all of the other listings that I was seeing. So I was like, okay, rather than waiting and hoping to find a trade, I'm just gonna jump on this now and buy it, and I will just keep Yushi, right? I messaged the person and I bought the card. Then literally like 2 hours later, somebody messaged me and asked to trade. So I was like, I mean, sure. So now I believe this is the trade. So this is the card that I got from the trade. I still have the other one on the way to me. It's coming from overseas, so that's probably gonna take a little bit. But yeah, long story short, I got 2 Sions on the way, and I know I literally just said in my jisung binder that I'm not a dupe collector. I haven't decided if I'm going to either trade or sell the other one yet. So, but for now, he's just gonna go in there and we'll see what happens in the future. But yeah, I am so excited to see this collection grow. Biases aside, I think Sion has literally the cutest photo cards I've ever seen in my life. I just want to collect all of them. Like, I'm a sucker for soft concepts, and that is literally NCT Wish's concept, so I will be collecting as much as I can for him. But yeah, obsessed with this binder, love it so much. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, last NCT binder for today, and it is my solos binder. I do have some stuff from Mark today. I'm kind of cheating a little bit though, and you'll see what I mean in a second. So I did get my copy of the first juice, the first fruit juice version, I guess. This is so cute. I'm literally obsessed with this. If there's one thing that SM knows how to do is make fun special album versions, so love this. And this was the photo card that I pulled from there. This album also came with some circle stickers as well as an accordion little thing that I tore up, and I'm going to store these little inclusions alongside the photo card, at least until I get more photo cards from this album. But yeah, this is one of those binders that we have not seen in a hot minute, but here we go. So it's only been Taeyong in here because that was the only NCT idol that I've collected their solos for so far. I would like to collect all of the other solos as well, but easier said than done. All right, I have no idea how I want to do this. go like that for now, I guess. So here's the first one. And all these little inclusion cards, I double-sided, so there's 2 per sleeve, I guess. And these are stickers. So fun. Oh, here is the photo card. I showed everything but the photo card. That's fine. I love this album so much. I personally am not religious. I grew up very religious and I have a lot of personal religious trauma surrounded by that. But I can admire and respect someone who is really in touch with their spiritual side, and I respect it a ton. So this was a really beautiful album. It was like we were getting a little bit of a soul read from him. Okay, but yeah, that was everything for NCT. Let's go into the collection that I'm going to be expanding today. So the group that I will be expanding today is none other than enhypen. This is the new binder that I set up for them. Like I said, I tried Sticker Deco once and fell in love with it, so I had to do it again. But I have just been loving enhypen's music more and more as each comeback passes. And like I said earlier, I think this would be a fun collection to just slowly work on over time whenever I have downtime in between comebacks. So to start, I'm gonna store away all the cards I originally had in my old miscellaneous binder, and then I'll go back in with all of the newer cards that I've gotten that you've never seen before. So this first section will all be cards that you've already seen. There will be a new layout, and I'll explain that layout as I go. But I do have a lot of new stuff for them, as well as a lot of new stuff on the way that has not arrived yet. But yeah, let's do it. So this entire box is everything I have already had for them. So here we go. I am keeping everything single sleeved just so I keep the pages as thin as possible. I want them to live in this binder for as long as possible, so if I double sleeve, things will get bulky, and yeah. So before filming this video, I had already laid out everything how I wanted to, just to test it out, so that's why I have the perfect amount of pages in here. So yeah, let's do it. So for now, this binder is going to start with Orange Blood. As I catch up with the later comebacks, I very much intend to back collect even further into Dark Blood, very similarly how I do with Sunghoon. I don't have any desire to collect any earlier than that. So, like I said, for now, this is everything I'll have for Orange Blood. But I do plan on expanding that later on in the future as the other ones get taken care of. All right, so here's the Orange Blood spread. Now we're going into Romance Untold, and this is where I will be officially starting the expansion, if you want to call it. So from this comeback forward, I will be collecting one full Weaver set, as so, and it will go on an 8 spread like this. There will be one extra spot that I'll fill up with something. These sets usually come with a group card, so it will either be that or like the track list like I have here. These pages are a little, like, I don't know if it's stickier or if they're like tighter. It is a little bit harder to slide photo cards into these pages. Could just be me though. User error, perhaps. But yeah, so We're starting with a reverse spread, and then from here on out for the rest of this comeback, I'm going to do full member pages. We're gonna start with the leader, so it'll be Jungwon, and then Jisung, and then Jae, Jake, so on and so forth. That way I'll collect 4 of my favorite photo cards from each era, so that way it takes the pressure off of fully collecting each member. I can also pick and choose the cards that I want, so that will make the process all the more fun. So to start, we have this Jisung. I unfortunately do not have any Jungwon yet for Romance Untold, but it is on my list of things to buy. You're gonna see that I do not have a lot here, and that is the beauty of expanding collections. It's gonna start very small, but I'm so excited to watch how this builds over time. Maybe I shouldn't show each one because I've had these forever. Unless you're new here, then this is the first time that you're seeing them. All right, and with that concludes the Romance Untold section. Then we're going to start the Daydream section. So as of right now, I do not have a dupe of Sunghoon's Polaroid. So for now, I'm just gonna put this Romance Untold group card here. In the future, when I do get Sunghoon's, I'll probably just take this out and store it elsewhere. But yeah, here is the full Weaver set from this album. So this card is very much out of place, but I just needed something to put there, so I figured why not. Okay, and then we start member spreads. So once again, skipping Jungwon, starting with Jisung. Okay, Jisung, Jae, Jake. And here's Jake. Okay, and finally, I have this random Sunghoon that, like I said, I'm not collecting any earlier than Dark Blood. I haven't decided whether or not I actually want to try to trade or sell this, so he's just kind of been living in the miscellaneous binder, so we're just gonna put him at the front here, since I have nothing else to put here anyways. And boom. So this is everything that I have already had. This is none of the newer cards yet. Very empty, but I see this as lots of opportunity. All right, so now I can get out all of the newer cards. And here is a stack. It's not much, but it is slow progress. So I'm just gonna mention this really quickly. I have talked about boycotting Hybe before and not buying their albums. I will admit that I had a moment of weakness. I was going through something a little personal, and it happened right around the time that pre-orders went up for their album, and I just bought some. So yeah, that was me seeking a little bit of comfort in shopping therapy, I guess if you want to call it. All right, so to start, I have this Jungwon Japan Edition card from Daydream. I would like to eventually get OT. I do think it's highly possible that I can. Jisung might prove to be a little bit of a challenge, but we'll see what happens. And then I have Nicki's as well. So very slowly getting these member pages started. All right, and now we can start going into Desire Unleash. Again, these are my pulls. I haven't gotten the Weverse album in yet, but this is the spread that it will go on, so we're gonna skip this page. And here's where the member spreads will start. So we're starting with this Jungwon. I love the photo cards from this era. There's so many good ones, it's kind of hard to pick just 4. All right, so Jungwon, Jisung, J, and I do have a J here. This is probably my favorite concept. I don't know what it is about the like dystopian, we're in a simulation concept. NCT Dream did it with Dreamscape or Dream Escape, and I'm a sucker for it. It's reminding me of my days where I was obsessed with Divergent, Hunger Games, and all of the other book series that were around at that time. Any of you remember Matched? That was an amazing series, and I think that's like one that I really, really wished as a teenager that got turned into some type of movie, TV show adaptation, and it never did. But yeah, so something about this video game simulation concept I'm obsessed with. And then next I have this Sunu, which Jake Sunu. He's gonna go here. Oh, let me show you the back. I do have a ton of trades and stuff on the way, but I got impatient and wanted to film. It has been 2 months since I've done this, so I figured it was time. And this Nikki, I screamed when I pulled it. This was one that I really, really wanted of his. I looked at templates and I was like, yep, that is definitely one that I will be collecting. And then I pulled him. So exciting. So we are very close to having at least 1 photo card per member, per era. I'm working on it. I do have a Jake on the way in a trade. No Hee-sung yet. This I'll get soon. I do have a Sunu on the way. I do have a J on the way, and that should be everybody for Daydream. And then, like I said, I believe we're just missing Jungwon for Romance Untold. So this is really exciting for me. I adore enhypen so much. I'm gonna have so much fun doing this. So yeah. Now let's go into my Sunghoon binder. And here it is. I did manage to pull a lot of Sunghoon this time around as well. I did end up with 2 dupe albums. So I bought 2 versions of the Make version, and unfortunately they were like 100% dupe albums. So all of the cards I pulled twice. 2 out of the 3 cards that were in that album were Sunghoon, and I have already managed to trade all of those away for other ones that I need. So we're gonna go right to the back here. Oh, and just really quick, so as you guys can see, and as you may already know, I like to store postcards in here, but for whatever reason, we didn't get any postcard or like mini poster inclusions in this album, so I used the engine version and I made a little collage insert just so that there's something. And I was so happy when I saw that like the members that they included in that version were the O2 line, and they just so happened to be my bias line as well. So I was very excited about that. So a little O2's appreciation moment there. But yeah, again, like I said, this concept, I'll eat it up every single time. Okay, here is the little stack. So we have the Target exclusive and then Make version A. So here's his Target card. They knew what they were doing with the handcuffs. Absolutely insane. And then Make version A. I also really like this version. This is one that I've pretty much decided that I want to collect for all of the members. It's just too good. And then each of the albums come with like these little ID inclusions. I figured that I would at least store Sunghoon's. I'm not gonna put it on like its own spot or anything. I'm just gonna probably put it behind one of the other photo cards. I'm not even 100% sure that this is Sunghoon. I kind of just did process of elimination with the other ones, and I'm just guessing. But until I find out otherwise, we're doing that. So let's just, oops, I knocked you guys. My bad. We're just gonna put this right behind here. And boom. And I'll do that with each of the versions as well. Okay, and that's the first page. And then we're going into the engine versions. Character card, version B. Here's his character card. So fun. Again, for whatever reason, I love ID inclusions. Not a lot of people do, but I'm one of them who enjoys them. And then there is the vertical card that comes in the album. Okay, so this is gonna go right here. Lovely. And that's all we have on hand today for him. But like I said, I have more on the way, and I very much have plans to continue slowly buying. So yay! Love starting a new comeback. So exciting. Alrighty. That is it for enhypen. Now we're gonna end this video off with Stray Kids as usual. Okay, so when I said that I would be dusting some binders off, I meant it very literally. Some of you guys might not even know that this binder exists because it's been that long since I've gone into it. This is my Hyunjin pob / Japan cards / tour merch items, kind of. I don't really know what to call it. I guess we can just say non-album. There was a time that I collected pre-order benefits for Hyunjin, Han, and Sungmin pretty seriously, but it kind of got to the point where it wasn't very fun anymore, so this binder is basically retired. I don't really have plans to downsize. I've looked through them and thought about it, but I'm like, I don't really want to get rid of them. I just don't want to collect more of the cards. Now, what I have for today, to be so truthful, and this is gonna sound terrible, I'm not even that excited to store these. If you've been around for a long time, you're gonna know what I'm talking about, but I finally have my Rockstar KMS cards. Yeah, I was in a group order for these for 1.5 years. There was so many issues with this group order. So I decided to mute these next few clips because I went on a 10-minute long rant about my experience with this go. Long story short, this GOM refused to communicate with the joiners. There's a lot of issues with the proxy, an issue that wasn't resolved for over 1.5 years, and our GOM refused to acknowledge our concerns with this. They, rather than communicating with us via our group chat, they instead chose to communicate with us through Instagram highlights, which was an issue because you didn't get notifications when updates happened on there, and you would have to click through like a 50-part story in order to find said update. So there were just a lot of issues, and we got really rude responses when we asked for any update, even though, you know, we haven't gotten an update in 4 months. But yeah, so I finally have these cards after 1.5 years. I could rant forever about this, clearly. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I'll gladly answer them in the comments. So yeah, back to the video. let's get the last Stray Kids binder and call it a day. Okay, last but not least, we have the album binder for my bias line. No, we're not finishing Hop today. I am still missing a couple of the Nemo cards. They're literally nowhere. I can't find them. I've only seen them on Poke Market, but they're very expensive on Poke Market. It's very much past what I'm willing to spend. So if you have, who am I missing? If you have either Hyunjin or Jisung for the Nemo cards and you, like, I would love to trade for them, but I am also very much willing to buy them. If you have them, please let me know. All right, I believe we're finishing this page today. So we have Hyunjin's accordion pob, Seungmin's hip tape version, and Jisung's hip tape version as well. Finally, finally, this is gonna be done. So I believe this is Jisung's hip tape version. And here's Seungmin's. Why he's in front of a purple background, I could not tell you. It's okay. This page could have been super cohesive, but it is what it is. And then finally, we have Hyunjin's accordion pob. And this suit page is done. Yay! Okay, and we only have one more card. This page has been done. We have Seungmin's Nemo card. I've thought about giving up, low-key. Just like the last album with 8, I only collected 1 out of 2 of the Nemo sets. I'm gonna continue trying to look for them because it really hasn't been that long. I'm sure I will eventually find them. I do really like this concept, so that's why I don't want to give up on them. If it was in the same concept as like these ones, considering there's a million cards in the same concept, I would have said like screw it and just forget them. But because it's a different concept, I do unfortunately still want to collect them. So that might just be something that takes a while. But almost done with Hop. We can basically say it's done. All of the standard versions at least. We can probably expect a Stray Kids comeback soon. They're starting to ramp up on their promotions, like going on different talk shows and interviews. So Skids Code is also booting back up. So that's usually around the time that a comeback happens. I just hope that the boys are well rested, especially after what's been happening at the US stops of their concert. Live Nation is doing an awful job managing this tour. I really feel for the boys. This is not their fault in any way. Honestly, I don't even think we should blame JYP, even though that's usually the answer for everything. Maybe next time we don't use baseball stadiums for concerts. Just a thought. Any stays going to any of their future stops, please remember, stay safe, stay hydrated. As much as we all love the boys and you love to see them, please don't risk getting sick and hurting yourself. Take care of you first, for sure. That's what the boys would want, and that's what you should want for yourself. All right, so that's the end for this video. You probably won't see any storing photocard videos probably until the end of July or the start of August. You will see me here and there with other types of videos like comeback setup videos and binder decos and collage making, all stuff like that. But in terms of pure photocard storing, it might continue to be slow until August, unfortunately. But I do plan to continue to slowly buy as time goes on. So yeah, as always, if you have any questions for me, feel free to leave them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you enjoyed. Ani out.